Mr. Taliaferro TV. Yo, y'all gonna be shocked at how I started this video. Y'all not about to expect this. At some point in 2017, there was a transition in hip hop. I am as unbiased as it gets. I know y'all say I got bias to CMG, whatever. It just so happens what I morally stand for, CMG has been on that side of the fence when it comes to some Memphis situations that have happened over the years. But I promise you, go look at my track record. I'm unbiased as it gets, and sometimes people don't like that. Over the last year and a half, y'all know every morning I watch every interview that comes out in the hip-hop platforms that I can get to every morning. That never goes away. And over the last year and a half, I've noticed something, man. Charlamagne the God has gotten a tad bit biased. A tad bit. He's not 100% biased. There are still a lot of interviews that he does keep it 100 on. Most of the time, he keeps it 100 with the women, especially like the Love and Hip Hop stars. But every rapper that comes up, he ain't keeping it all the way 100 anymore. And with that being said, in my opinion, Joe Budden has surpassed Charlamagne the God as a talking point in hip hop for the personalities. And what do you mean by that? Real quick, I'm gonna do a whole video on this if y'all tell me in the comment section y'all want it. I mean that Joe Budden has now become the guy that people are checking for when they drop a project. People are just not coming up to the Breakfast Club anymore because, the Breakfast Club's still #1 by far. Let's make that clear. But people are more concerned about what Joe Budden said on Everyday Struggle. That's why it sucks that Everyday Struggle is not going to be around. You got one of the biggest rappers in the world, for real, responding to something you probably said on your platform. And it sucks that Everyday Struggle is not going to be around anymore with Joe and Academics both being there, because this is really big for their platform. But to me, Joe Budden has passed Charlamagne the God as the talking point from a personality standpoint. More rappers care about what Joe Budden said about their project. Joe Budden is striking more fear. And you seen what Jeezy did when he came up there, when he aired him out. Joe Budden is getting more emotion out of rappers than Charlamagne the God is in 2018. And I'm watching interviews like freaking Cameron. I'm seeing a little bias in Charlamagne. I never thought I'd see that. Now, again, if y'all want a whole video of that, please comment in the comment section and I'll give you a whole video on just that. Now, let's get into the BS. Eminem dropped his Chloroseptic, the remix. And to me, it is, look, I am not a big Eminem fan, and I'm not going to act like I am. So for me to get into judging, rating Eminem's bars on this one in comparison to other records, I don't think it'll be fair to you guys, because I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm not a huge Eminem guy. It's just not who I am. But I did listen to these bars, and these bars were hard. And salute to 2 Chainz. He been complaining and crying about people not using his verses. He finally got somebody to use a verse of his. And 2 Chainz, I have to go back and check his verse out again. But let's get into what Eminem said that everybody thinks is about Joe Budden. To put this in perspective, Joe Budden on Everyday Struggle or his podcast, or maybe both, looked at the track list for Eminem's album Revival and was like, yo, these tracks they're garbage, right? The track list is garbage. And Eminem, and for those who don't understand the relationship of Eminem and Joe Budden, Eminem he still has a group called Slaughterhouse that Joe Budden was a part of, and I think technically is still signed to. If you want to listen to Joe Budden and what he says on his podcast, that Slaughterhouse group is not out making a lot of music at this current time together. I think, what was it, 3 years ago when they had their last project together? I mean, they're all doing their own different things, and it looks like Joe Budden and he's doing the best out of them from a content standpoint, or who knows his name. But Royce is probably still the best rapper out of them. He's on tour right now with Premier, if I'm not mistaken. And Eminem's, doing his thing as a media personality. So Slaughterhouse ain't making no money right now. And Joe found it. I believe Joe had to go out of the woodworks to say something about Eminem that maybe he deemed factual, or maybe go above and beyond to say something about Eminem's project being trash, because people would be expecting him to deride his former boss, or technically still his boss, and go out of the way and be like, yo, this album is hard. I don't care what it is, it's hard because it's Eminem. So I believe maybe Joe Budden felt as if though he had to go out and really make his point and say, yo, This ain't it. Or maybe Joe was just living his truth. He called Eminem's album garbage. And he said he hadn't listened to most of it. He was like, from what I heard, it's garbage. I think that record, White Boy. Joe was like, that's garbage, Eminem. That ain't it. And he was like, yo, you're trying to use, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Charlemagne and Joe Budden put Eminem on the trash list for the year. That's why I'm telling y'all it's more about Joe Budden than it is Charlemagne. Eminem responded to Joe, not Charlemagne. Joe's whole point was that Eminem tried to use the struggles of black people. He tried to do the freestyle to get Trump to, you know what I'm saying, to kind of bait back. And Eminem admitted that he thought Trump would respond to him, and he didn't. So in Joe's world, he's like, yo, Eminem tried to use black people and our problems and our struggles to create a whole project around, and Joe wouldn't roll it. Let's get into what Eminem said that was most likely about Joe Budden. He said, rap mature, why can't you be like Macklemore? Why you always gotta smack a whore? It's like the psychiatric wards, a last resort. Something's gotta give, that's for sure. Yet you keep coming back for more. Not as raw as I was, walk on water sucks. Bitch, suck my dick. Y'all saw the track list and had a fit before you even heard it. So you formed your verdict while you sat with your arms crossed, did your little reaction videos and talked over songs. Chill. Nah, dog. Y'all saying I lost it and your fucking marbles are gone. But nowadays, every flow, every cadence sounds the same. So now let's go down more in the verse where I don't think this is any type of direct shot at Joe. I think the first part was what I just read for you. But I think this is more general of Eminem just getting his shit off and generally speaking to anybody out there and kind of talking to himself in public form. He was like, look, I know you still want me to ill out, don't you? Hoping the old Slim's gonna spill out open. Firing your whole count with the spit I wrote you. So chill out, no you. Hoes couldn't roast me with the shit I wrote you. Then I took a stand and with a tan face and practically cut my motherfucking fan base in half and still outsold you. You just called my shit trash. Thank God I rap better when the odds are stacked. Revival's whack. I don't like the zombie track. Or when he's talking that garbage psychotic crap. Where's your content at? What's with all that conscious rap? Pink, Beyonce this and Kalani that. I just added to the fuel in my rocket pack. Till I'm ready to respond and I'ma launch it at him. Idiotic from the fucking embryo sack to the body bag. I'll be back, and when I am, I'll be at your fucking throat like chloroceptic. Chloroceptic. Okay. So that is Eminem's, not only his respond and diss to Joe Budden, that is his respond to rap, who's been critiquing or tough on his album Revival. He's like, look, not only I'm not retiring, which is something that we got to talk about more. He's like, look, I still got these bars in this flow. What does it mean for Joe Budden in regards to what he said about him? Look, I think it's always, if the best rapper in the world, right, or one of the biggest rappers in the world, I won't say the best rapper in the world, but one of the, again, Eminem's not my cup of tea, but I'll say one of the biggest rappers in the world, we ain't arguing that, right, talks about what you said on your growing platform, you got to feel pretty proud of your platform. Like, yo, a lot of people think Eminem lives on a different world. Heck, I think Eminem lives on a different world. But if you're able to spark a response out of him, and to the point that he had to go take time out of his day, not to just hop on a phone for 30 minutes, but to get back in the studio, get in the lab, and make a diss at you, that means something. At the bare minimum, that means your opinion holds value. That means your opinion holds weight. And if I'm Joe Budden, I'm not angry at anything that happened today. Hell, there's more viewership for the damn podcast that's going to come out Wednesday or Thursday. That's what this is. Now, what he actually said, I thought Eminem had a point. Yo, I did. Me included. We all went through that track list and destroyed it before the project even came out. That's real. And Joe Budden deserves to be critiqued for that, for sure. But at the same time, Joe Budden can probably argue, and we'll all be tuned in to see what happens on the podcast Wednesday or Thursday. Joe Budden could argue that Eminem's just trying to get more talk, even though his sales were pretty good for his first week. Eminem's just trying to get more talk about his album by attacking somebody who's deeply invested in the hip-hop culture right now, like Joe Budden. So it's the same thing Eminem admitted that he did with Donald Trump. He admitted that he tried to get Trump to respond to him to help with the album, right? To help with the spark of the album. And Joe could be like, yo, I'm no Donald Trump, but it looks like nobody's talking about Eminem's project. It kind of came and went. And Eminem's got a tour coming up, by the way, that has to sell out at every stop, right? If I'm trying to get more people talking about my project and just get them to even check out my project or think about my project, why not diss somebody who Mr. TALIAFERRO just called hip-hop's talking point as far as a personality is going right now, right? And somebody that I had a relationship with in the past. He worked for me. I think it's all around a smart move by Eminem. I don't think there's any pressure on Joe Budden to respond to Eminem, right? If he did, it'll be dope. If he doesn't, it's just like, yeah, I didn't really expect him to go at Eminem. I don't think Joe Budden wants a beef with Eminem, although it would be spectacular for the sport of hip hop. Joe, you might have to come out of retirement soon. Maybe just not because of Eminem, but people are going to test you, man, because you're a former rapper. You know, with sports, it's not like if Deion Sanders critiques Antonio Brown. Deion Sanders, it's not like Antonio Brown's going to be like, come out of retirement and come face me. You know what I'm saying? Or let's run a 40-yard dash against each other. But with hip hop, as long as you got a mouth and your words still your words, rappers expect you to stick to them words. If you critique my music, show me you can do better. And at some point, Joe might have to respond if he's going to get these type of guys to. I mean, hell, the only rapper bigger that could get at him would be Jay, right? But if you're gonna get guys like 50 and Eminem going at you, you might have to respond. At some point, you might have to get in the business of, yo, I gotta respond to this. I can't allow people to keep thinking that I'm pussy. My rappers are pussy, and Joe's not a pussy lyrically. We will see. I believe, Joe, you're gonna have to come out of retirement at some point. Is this the moment that does it? I don't know, but you're probably not gonna find an artist bigger that's dissed you, right? Mr. Taliaferro TV, please talk to me about this video in totality. I had fun with it. And like I said, that Charlamagne and Joe Budden video, I got it in the can. If y'all want it, just let me know. It's some really good content in it too. I wouldn't lie to you guys. Thank y'all so much for the time, love, support. This is hip hop, man. This is fun. This is fun. I don't want to sit around and talk about beef all day. Let's get to these bars. And Eminem got to them bars at Joe Budden. We're waiting on a response. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now, you're turning up on MrTaliaferro.com, shawty.